Hey, how's everybody doing? I made a video, I guess, about a year ago back, uh, about using Jetpro soft stretch heat transfer paper for light garments, and I figured I kind of wanted to do a new video with a little update, and the paper is here is Jetpro soft stretch, and I hope you guys can see it, but this is the 8.5 by 11 size paper. Then they offer the 11 by 17 tablet size paper. So these, two versions here. And you can purchase these at Amazon. These small ones here is $34 and some change. And shipping and handling is around like $9. And these here, for a pack of 50 of the 11 by 17, they'll run you about $44, and then I think it's like $10 for shipping and handling and stuff. So when you kind of break it down for these here, per sheet you get about, that comes out to paying like 44 cents per sheet. And then for the tablet, it'll come out to about, $1.08 or something like that per sheet. So, 54 cents a sheet for, I'm sorry, I don't know if I said 100 pack, but yeah, it's a 100 pack, and then this is a 50 pack. So for 100 sheets of this, you can pretty much get it for 44 cents a sheet. So if you was into like kind of just selling this stuff, or, doing it for friends and stuff, you can, I don't know if you guys want to charge money or whatever, but you can make, sell them for $5. That's a nice size profit from 44 cents. And then these coming out, because normally if I give them to somebody, I sell these for like $10 and the smaller sheets for $5. So, and plus you got a lot of room to play with these bad boys. 100 sheets, 44 cents a sheet, 50 sheets at $1.08. That's a lot of room for trial and error, experimenting, trying different things with this stuff. So that's the info on that. And again, it's Jetpro soft stretch for light garments. And again, you can order that. I get mine from Amazon.com. And little image I printed out, I used the 11 by 17 size sheet here. So I'm gonna be heat pressing a little Chucky image. It's feeling a little crazy. It's like 3 something in the morning right now while I'm making this video, but I'm up. But basically I'm just gonna trim around the edges on this here. You don't really have to do it perfect, because again, this is for light garments, so it really doesn't, have to be trimmed to perfection or anything like that. And I got my heat press settings at 370. Normally they say 375, but I just got it set at 370. I think it's still a good range. And then I'm gonna heat press it for 25 seconds. They tell you, I think every instruction seems like they're a little different. Some say 25 seconds, some say 30. So I'm just gonna do mine at 25 seconds. And again, this is a Jetpro soft stretch heat transfer. And you don't have to really, trim it all perfect. I'm just trying to get some of the excess paper down. And when you print this out, you want to print it in reverse. And I didn't do that with this design here, because sometimes it depends on the design you're printing. You don't have to really print it in reverse, because no matter which way it's facing, if it was that way or that way, it's still pretty much going to be the same, because there's no words or anything involved. So that really won't affect it too much. And just started ordering t-shirts and stuff online, so I ordered my blank t-shirts and stuff, Gildan brand. I ordered these online, and they come out to about $1 and some change. So overall, everything here is, total cost is barely like $3, so $3 to make a little fun shirt or whatever. Or if you're trying to, make money with it, that's still a good deal. If you turn around and, total cost $3 for the ink and print and all that stuff. You know, you can turn around and sell it for anywhere from $10 to $15. You know, that's a nice profit. You know, so not sure if anybody's planning on, you know, making money with it, but basically I'm just gonna pre-press my shirt here. Just knock the little wrinkles and the moisture out of them. You know, so sometimes they just say 2 or 3 seconds, but I like to go a little longer because sometimes you can see the little smokes coming off of it, that steam or whatever, you know. Then you always want to keep a lint roller. Have to excuse me for that, but I ain't got my handle on here, but I'll just use my fingers. It's good. Yeah, you always want to use a lint roller because, you know, if it got like little hair particles or anything on the shirt, that can kind of, you know, show up in your print, and you don't want that. You know, it might be a little hair because once you print this, you can't get it out, you know. So again, this is gonna press this, so you lay it face down, you know, with this Jetpro soft stretch symbols upright, and we're just gonna pretty much just lay this bad boy wherever you want to put it on your shirt there. Just gonna just throw it on there anywhere, and use your Teflon sheet. You definitely want to use that. So we'll lay that down, and we're gonna press it like medium to firm pressure, and I'm gonna let this go for 25 seconds. And I know a lot of people do hot peel with this, and they clearly state hot peel, but me, I was having issues when I would press them for some reason. I don't know. I tried to adjust my pressure and all that, but it would never kind of come out right. Sometimes when I peel it up, it would be parts of the image would kind of come off of here. So I kind of just learned, I did some experimenting, and I kind of learned that what I do is I give it a little time to cool off, and instead of peeling it right away, what I do is I kind of let it cool off before I start my peeling process. You know, and sometimes to cool it off faster, you rub it up against like your countertop, you know, get it to cool down a little bit for you. And get this. And it doesn't have to be completely cold or anything like that, but just kind of just give it time to settle in. And flip it over. I don't know if you guys can see that. Try to get over here. I don't know. Hope you can see it. I don't want it to get wet in the dish rack, so I think that's a good, it's cool enough, and just pretty much get you a little spot on there and get the peeling away. And again, I pressed it for 25 seconds. Yeah, just kind of go with it, and sometimes you get little spots that tear and stuff like that. It's no big deal. Just, you know, when it got curves to it, just start at a different little spot and kind of pick up right where you left off. Try to get it where you guys can see it. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, when it's a little complex little shape to it, it might take a little bit of effort, but it's no big deal. Just kind of take your time with it. Yeah, sometimes it'll leave a little bit of paper on there, but once you get rolling again, should be okay. Alright, there we go. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm trying to keep it. My camera woman is asleep on me, so I don't have anybody to move my camera. Alright. And you see this little yellowish stuff. That's quite normal, so don't worry about that. That doesn't mean anything, as long as you don't see any of your image. And now from here, you know, from what you guys probably could see, it's like, oh, that looks nice, but we're not finished yet. And since I did a cold peel, if I was to stretch this, it would kind of crack on me right now. So before you do any stretching or thinking, you know, it's ready to be worn, what I do is I throw it back on my heat press. Just throw it right back on here. And it's pretty simple. You know, people are like, well, you don't cold peel with that. Well, I do, and it works out just fine. You know, so I do that, and then have get you some parchment paper. You know, get some basic parchment paper, and you can grab this from any grocery store, pretty much everywhere. You know, and with the parchment paper, I made it over my image. And since this is a pretty big image, I didn't want to cut a new sheet, so I'm just taking two and sticking it on there. You know, you just want to make sure you cover up, the entire image. And I lay my Teflon sheet back over the parchment paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to repress it for anywhere from like 8 to 10 seconds. And I'll show you guys here. I'm just going to count down here. Alright, and you want to peel it immediately after you do this second press. And while it's still warm, now you take it and give it a good stretch, and while it's still warm and stuff, that kind of gives it that longevity. So, as it's wearing and it pulls, it has some flexibility and stuff with it. And that's pretty much it. I kind of go crazy with the stretching here. But as you can see now, that's a finished product, and this is a Jetpro soft stretch, and that's pretty good. I mean, it's down into the shirt decently. You don't have to always have a direct-to-garment printer, and all that fancy stuff, but you can make money off this stuff, and I kind of, tell you see the pull. I mean, it's pretty good stuff, I tell people, I ask them, well, how many times do you plan on wearing it? It's a one-time thing or whatever like that, and just kind of, let the customer know it's not the professional stuff, but for the price you pay for it, I think it's a wonderful starter, to make some little extra money, and, until you can step up and, get other stuff. And again, this only can press onto light garments like white, light gray, and stuff like that. Or whatever. And just to show you guys some other shirts so you can see the washability. This was a shirt that I made like a while back, and I don't know how good you guys can see, but you can tell it's been washed a lot. And image is still perfectly good. I mean, it's still wearable, other than, just the normal wear and tear, but the image itself is very wearable. And this has been washed well over 20 something times. And then I have a shirt. I'm gonna cut that heat press off. This was a shirt I made. I sold a lot of these to my classmates, and this has been washed well over at least 70 times. I mean, it's been washed to death, and it has holes in it. It's been washed so much. Stains in there and all that, but the image itself, as you can see, is still visible, and you can make it out, what it is. So a lot of people say, well, this heat transfer stuff is no good, it's not good quality. Well, it all depends on what you consider good quality, because that's more than enough good quality. I wouldn't be upset, I charge my classmates $12 for these shirts here. I think that's a damn good price, and it's been washed well over 70 times, and this one here has been washed well over 20 times, here, and it's very visible, still. And this one here, and, it's pretty good, and it's Jetpro soft stretch, and for the price, you can't beat it. And thank you guys for watching.